of Allah, the Merciful, the Beneficent. Now with today's main headlines. Nearly 50,000 displaced amid escalating conflict in Syria. World observes International Day of Persons with Disabilities. World Bank reports Afghanistan's exports decline by 14% amid economic challenges. New York criminalizes forced removal of religious attire to combat hate crimes. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, this is Hussein Ali and you are watching Shia Waves live from London only on Imam Hussein TV 3. Nearly 50,000 people have been forced to flee their homes in Syria as extremist insurgents continue to seize areas of the country, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs reported on Monday. According to OCHA, the displacement crisis remains volatile, with numbers being updated daily. As of November 30th, more than 48,500 individuals had been displaced. The situation is highly fluid and partners are working to verify new figures as they emerge, the agency stated, underscoring the severity of the humanitarian crisis in the region. The world marks the International Day of Persons with Disabilities today, December 3rd, established by the UN General Assembly in 1992 to raise awareness about the challenges faced by people with disabilities and promote their integration into all aspects of social, economic, political and cultural life. Globally, an estimated 10 to 15% of the population lives with physical, sensory or mental disabilities, according to the World Health Organization. These individuals often face significant barriers in their daily lives, exacerbated by societal and environmental challenges. According to global reports, women with disabilities encounter compounded discrimination due to gender and disability, often facing violence and societal rejection, emphasizing that disabled women and girls face severe economic and cultural hardships, with limited access to healthcare, education and essential services. The International Day of Persons with Disabilities serves as a vital reminder of the need for global action. It is a call for societies to prioritize improving infrastructure, enforcing inclusive policies, and providing psychological and financial support to empower individuals with disabilities and ensure their dignity and independence. Afghanistan's exports decreased by 14% in 2024 due to trade policy changes, economic challenges and increased taxes on agricultural products. More details in the following report.
The World Bank reports a 14% decrease in Afghanistan's exports from January the 1st to September the 1st, 2024, primarily due to changes in Pakistan's trade policies and increased taxes on Afghan agriculture products. The report highlights ongoing challenges in Afghanistan, including weak human capital, high unemployment, widespread poverty, and food insecurity. It notes that demand does not align with supply, further complicating the economic landscape. Pakistan remains Afghanistan's largest export market, accounting for 46% of total exports, followed by India at 28%. Iran has emerged as the largest source of imports, comprising 30% of total imports. In August 2024, the Consumer Price Index decreased by 6.7% compared to the previous year, driven by 11.5% drop in food prices and a 1.8% decrease in non-food goods. Despite these reductions, core inflation, which excludes volatile items, fell by only 1.4%, indicating persistent supply-demand mismatches. Trade barriers, including increased tariffs by Pakistan and border closures, have disrupted exports, particularly in coal, which saw a 71% decline. Afghanistan's coal exports fell from $209 million to $61 million, with exports to Pakistan dropping by 23%. Additionally, mineral imports rose by 29%, indicating potential growth in Afghanistan's manufacturing sector. The report underscores the need for Afghanistan to enhance the competitiveness of its products, particularly in raw minerals, and calls attention to the socio-economic restrictions imposed by the Taliban which hinder future progress. This is Aruj Fasma for Shia Waves.
Let's take a look back at today's main headlines. Nearly 50,000 displaced amid escalating conflict in Syria. World observes International Day of Persons with Disabilities. World Bank reports Afghanistan's exports decline by 14% amid economic challenges. Also tonight, Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, Sayyida Fatima is Hujjat and holds position equivalent to Imam. New York has enacted legislation making the forced removal of religious attire such as hijabs, turbans or Jewish kippas a second-degree harassment crime. Governor Kathy Hochul emphasized the state's commitment to ensuring the safety and dignity of its citizens amid rising hate crimes, particularly targeting Muslim communities. Hochul stated that public safety is a top priority, highlighting the law's role in fostering religious and cultural diversity and promoting peaceful coexistence. The legislation also mandates anti-hate education in schools to nurture respect and tolerance among younger generations. Additionally, it targets the misuse of technology, such as mobile phone thefts, to harass individuals wearing religious clothing. This move comes in response to a significant rise in hate crimes, especially following the recent escalation in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. State reports revealed a 417% spike in online hate speech targeting Muslims. And now we continue with some short news. Recent research from ETH Zurich highlights the alarming spread of ocean acidification into deeper waters, a significant consequence of rising atmospheric carbon dioxide levels. Environmental physicists Jens Müller and Nicholas Grube developed a 3D ocean model to track acidification's progress since the Industrial Revolution. Their findings reveal that by 2014, ocean acidification impacted depths averaging around 1,000 meters, with some regions reaching up to 1,500 meters. This phenomenon poses a severe threat to marine organisms, particularly vulnerable species like pteropods, whose calcium-based shells are at risk. The research, published in Science Advances, calls for collaborative efforts and further studies to protect marine ecosystems and ensure a sustainable future. Researchers at the University of Hawaii are utilizing the world's largest solar telescope, the Daniel K. Inouye Solar Telescope, alongside advanced AI to revolutionize solar research. The SPIN 4D project focuses on rapidly analyzing vast datasets to improve predictions of solar phenomena, such as solar storms, which can impact satellites and power grids. Led by postdoctoral researcher Kai Yang, the team employs deep learning models to process data from the telescope, which generates up to 40 terabytes daily. This AI-driven approach allows for near real-time visualization of the solar atmosphere, significantly speeding up data analysis. At the 16th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, it was revealed that 3 billion people worldwide are affected by land degradation. Abdul Rahman Al-Fadli, the newly elected president of COP16 and Saudi Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture, warned that this degradation could lead to increased migration, instability and insecurity. Currently, up to 40% of the world's land is degraded, impacting climate, biodiversity and livelihoods. Droughts, exacerbated by climate change and poor land management, have increased by 29% since 2000. UNCCD Executive Secretary Ibrahim Thiaw emphasized the urgent need for land restoration, stating that it is essential for nurturing humanity and ensuring a sustainable future. The conference aims to foster global cooperation with a call for $2.6 trillion in investments by 2030 to combat land degradation. Amina Mohammed, UN Deputy Secretary General stressed the importance of international collaboration and the inclusion of marginalized communities in decision-making processes. China has opened its first overseas atmospheric monitoring station in East Antarctica's Lasserman Hills, marking a significant step in its polar research efforts. The Zhongshan National Atmospheric Background Station, operational since Sunday, will monitor atmospheric composition and support global climate change studies, according to the China Meteorological Administration. The station will provide continuous observations of Antarctic atmospheric components, offering critical data on climate dynamics. This facility is part of China's growing presence in Antarctica, which includes 5 research stations, the most recent of which began operations earlier this year. On World AIDS Day, African health officials pledged to enhance healthcare interventions aimed at reducing new HIV infections, aligning with the global theme, Take the Right Path, My Health, My Right. Rwanda's Health Minister, Sabin Nsanzimana, reported a 70% reduction in new infections and a 60% drop in AIDS-related deaths since 2010. However, nearly 10 new infections occur daily, primarily among young people aged 18 to 20, highlighting the need for better education and communication. In Kenya, Cabinet Secretary for Health Deborah M. Barasa emphasized the role of men and boys in combating HIV, noting that 98% of adults living with HIV are receiving treatment, with a significant 83% reduction in new infections over the past decade. In Uganda, Health Minister Jane Ruth Akeng expressed concern over insufficient progress in reducing new infections, which threatens the nation's goal to end AIDS by 2030, particularly amidst declining donor funding following the enactment of the anti-homosexuality law. Another daily scholarly session led by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Husseini al-Shirazi was held in his honorable residence. In discussing the concept of the Ma'sumin being Hujjat, His Eminence stated, Hujjat means obedience. It is obligatory for us to follow them in all matters. Let's watch the statements of His Eminence together.
چون زن بودن بنا نمی‌شده که نصب و عزل بکنن، والی نصب کنن یکی عزل کنن، یعنی مناسب نبوده، اگر در حکم امام بودن و افضل از فرزنداشون هستن، یعنی مناسب نبوده، خدا قرار نداده. آخه امام باید قدری که میتونه عزل و نصب کنه، مناسب نبوده عزل و نصب کنه. بله 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 علم داشتن، علمشون به همه صحیفه بوده، به همه کتاب علی علیه السلام بوده. گاهی برای همین فرما شما یمن و برکت بوده، گاهی برای ذکر حضرت زهرا علیه السلام، ذکر حضرت امیر علیه السلام و علیه السلام بوده. حالا شاید هم جهات دیگه گاهی بوده، گاهی برای قبول سائل بوده، یعنی سائل قبول میکرده.
We have reached the end of today's news. Let's take a look at the main headlines for this evening. Nearly 50,000 displaced amid escalating conflict in Syria. World observes International Day of Persons with Disabilities. World Bank reports Afghanistan's exports decline by 14% amid economic challenges. New York criminalizes forced removal of religious attire to combat hate crimes. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, Sayyida Fatima is Hujjat and holds position equivalent to Imam. You can view the latest news on our website, or you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of your screen. Thank you all for watching. We pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're doing IHC, Imam Hussein Charity. We're bringing up awareness for the water campaign.
Assalamu alaikum. You can see that there is an aeroplane right behind us. Today, us three are going to be getting on this aeroplane and not coming down it in the way that you would expect. We're actually going to be jumping out of an aeroplane, all for an amazing cause with Imam Hussein Charity.